Hi there, everyone. It's Patrick here from I Help with Macs. I've been working with and for Apple for many, many years now. And the reason I can make these tutorial videos is because I recently left Apple as an employee. But I wanted to prove that I was an Apple employee by wearing this shirt. Now you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, when I walk into the Apple store, the employees have really cool phrases and slogans on their shirt, like, make the upgrade, and I'm a Mac, and I can make it simple to switch. Yes. Now the colors in the Apple Store, or the shirt colors in the Apple Store, are all bright and flourishing, and there's all these different phrases, and not a lot of photos or anything, but still, back in the day when I worked at Apple, I wore all those pink and green and blue and orange, any other colors? And black shirts. But when I first started at Apple, this is what it looked like. You walk in, you just see a bunch of people in black shirts with the Apple logo, and this is old school. This is, as you would say, OG, original gangsta, or in this case, original gigabyte. I don't know. I just wanted to show that I actually have been working at Apple for a long time, and I've over the years have learned a couple of cool tricks, as well as just some really fundamental things that will help you out. For instance, I get questions all the time, and actually recently in the past, I've asked myself the question, how do I simply change the size of a photo? Not when I'm looking at it. How do I actually simply make a photo smaller? Maybe I'm designing a web page, and I want there to be a small icon on that web page, and I want to use a photo for that icon that I currently have on my computer. Maybe a photo like this. Oh yeah! That's me with corn in my hand, wearing a helmet, and eating a hot dog. America! That's how I do it, all right? Now, let's pretend that this is a photo I want to make into some sort of an icon or something, and I simply want to change the size of it. Well, that's really easy. Let's simply open the photo. Now, how do I open something? I can click on it. I can actually select the item, then hold down the Command key and tap the letter O. There's always more than one way to do something on a Mac. Almost always. And I would challenge you, actually ask me, Patrick, how did you do that? And do you know a couple of different ways to do it? And if I don't know 2 different ways to do something on my Mac, I'm sure I can find another way. There's almost always another option. Let me turn off that little keyboard viewer here. Let's go ahead and open this by simply double-clicking on it. Now, when I double-click on this photo, does iPhoto open? No. The application that simply shows you things on your Mac, like PDFs, images, and certain things like that, is called Preview. Now, how do I know I'm using Preview? As a matter of fact, how do I know I'm using any application? I just simply look in the upper left-hand corner of my menu bar. Hey, Patrick, what are you using right now? I'm not going to answer that question. Whenever you want to know what I'm using, look in the upper left-hand corner of the menu bar. If you're wondering on your Mac, hey, what am I using? What's opening right now? Look at the upper left-hand corner of your menu bar, and your Mac will tell you, okay? Don't worry about it. Now, currently, how large is this photo? I mean, what are the dimensions? Well, there's a couple of ways to find that out. There's a great shortcut key on your Mac that doesn't only work in this scenario, but works with almost any file on your Mac. If I select a file, or even have a file open on my Mac, a lot of the times I can just simply hold down, once again, the great old Command key, okay, and then tap the letter I. Now, what do you think I stands for? I stands for information, okay? Command I. And it will show me the information about this photo. Notice how it's showing me the dimensions, the color space, the color profile, alpha channel, when it was last open, what application am I using, how many kilobytes is it, where is it stored, all types of information, including labeling features. Okay, all kinds of different nerdy stuff. Very few pieces of the information you see here are going to be useful to you. But we can actually just see the information about a certain file, which is great. So if you're on your Mac and you're in iTunes and you're thinking, I'm listening to this song, when did I download it? How long is that song? What kind of file is that song? Select it. Command I. If you're in iPhoto or in other applications, you can find out information really quickly. Now, I'm going to go back to what I was doing here. Let me turn off the keyboard viewer there. I'm still using preview. How do I know that? It says it right here. And under the tools section, adjust size. There it is right there. I see so many people try to change the size of photos by opening up iPhoto and Photoshop, when in fact, there's this application built into your Mac called Preview that does a lot of this for you. Adjust size. It shows me the size of this photo. Now notice that these numbers correlate with Command I, the information I see here. Remember? 532 by 640. 532 by 640. And I'm going to customize this photo. I'm going to make it, now I could click up here and they have some selections for me. By the way, you want to stay on pixels. Excuse me, you want to stay on pixels over here, but I'm going to change this to, actually I work with a web page very frequently where I like to make icons or images that are 198. Now notice as I change that top number, this bottom number changed automatically. Scale proportionately, uncheck. Let's go 198 by 179, okay? And that allows you to make a width and height that aren't scaled in proportion, but customize it fully. So I changed the size there, and I click OK. And boom, look, the photo goes whoop, and makes me look even fatter, if you can imagine that. Isn't that wonderful? So we learned a couple of things today. First of all, old school Apple employees will recognize this. All of the other ones that don't recognize this are freaking posers. You heard me, Nick Jacobs. Poser! Just kidding. You're not posers. You're just simply not as cool as those of us who have worked at Apple and probably moved out of the retail career. Oh, I'm kidding! I love that Nick still works at Apple. Why? Because I can call him for discount. No! Because it's a good job and he does really great there. Everybody, next time you see Nick Jacobs, for the thousands of people that watch this video, give him a little pat to you on the back and say, you're doing a great job. All right, so here's just a real quick tip for you guys. Editing a photo by simply changing its size. Thanks for letting me joke around with you. Feel free to check ihelpwithmax.wordpress.com to see more cool tips and tricks that you might want to use. Feel free to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Mr. I help with Max. And you can also follow me on Twitter, I help with Max. Other than that, feel free to shoot me an email, ihelpwithmax@gmail.com. I would love to give you guys all kinds of tips that you're interested in, besides the stuff that I just think is really cool. So have a wonderful day. Hope you guys are doing really, really well, and keep watching because I think we're going to learn some really fun stuff together. Okay, bye-bye.